Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it.
Wake your punk ass up.
That crust out, y'all.
It's the Daily News on Sway in the Morning.
That's right, Sway in the Morning, Shade 4-5 Daily News. A special edition of the Daily News, Heather B.
I know it.
You know, I had to call in my homeboy this morning.
That's right.
My family, if you will.
Family.
Inspiring young man that's here with us today. Mm-hmm. Woke up this morning looking flyer than I look when I get dressed up.
Damn.
That's just look at him, man. I'm almost hating.
Smell nice, too.
Yes.
You're doing a pretty good job of it.
Thank you, man.
Pull out your shades, Sway. Do something.
Damn, I feel like I lost him. I didn't find him this morning. Shit, I knew he was coming. I was going to throw him my Pradas, but I left him at the house. The one on D.L Hughley is here, ladies and gentlemen.
How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great.
How you been, man?
Oh, man, I'm getting along okay.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Ain't slapped any white women lately, no?
Man, I never done that.
Never done that? Nah.
I never done anything so atrocious.
I
wanted to, but
it never happened, right?
Never happened.
Hey, let me ask you something, man. You know, having worked on TV for so many years, I have the TV sway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then there's me. You
Right.
know what I mean? In the TV sway, you know, I try to maintain a certain composure.
Right.
I don't want to act out of my character.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I don't want somebody to pull me out of my me.
Right.
But sometimes shit happens,
Right.
and you just go to the nucleus
Right.
of your soul,
Right.
no matter if the cameras are rolling or not.
Right.
I've had some moments like that, one or two.
Right.
I felt like there was a moment like that for you with Megyn Kelly.
I think that I was acting anyway. People don't understand. I was on to talk about the book.
Yeah.
The Black Man White House, an oral history of the Obama years, and it's like number 7, a New York Times bestseller. I think I'm on Fox
Congratulations.
News
Hell yeah.
to
Congratulations.
talk about a book,
Mm-hmm.
and the first thing I see is Mark Furman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mark Furman, I grew up in L.A.
I grew up in
And-
Cali. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And the LAPD was so brutal. They used to beat the shit out of niggas I knew and fuck over them. And he admitted to doing that.
Yeah.
He admitted to doing it. It ain't me. You look up, if you Google him and see the shit that he's done and admitted to, this is the man that you bring on to argue that policemen aren't racist and aren't brutal toward black people.
Yeah.
This man, that would be like talking a rape victim getting talked to by that Stanford swimmer.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we start the conversation. You're upset. This dude got fired from the Los Angeles Police Department for lying about being a racist.
Yeah.
And he's the one that you bring on to convince me that there's no racism in policing.
Yeah.
Megyn Kelly let Donald Trump run all over her. And to get her job back, she basically sucked his dick on TV. And she talks to me like I'm a fucking janitor.
Yeah.
And I wasn't on there for like literally. If I let she actually got offended that I would level the charge of racism at her when you have an admitted racist on your payroll.
Yeah.
Right.
But do you honestly, like, she's an intelligent person, obviously, educated the whole
I don't know that she's intelligent.
Okay,
well, that's true.
I'm sure she's educated.
There's a difference.
Okay.
That's a difference.
I'm sure she's
There's a
educated.
difference. She got a piece of
she's-
paper that says she went somewhere.
She's made her mark in the
Right.
game.
Sure.
Do you think it's, we've worked in TV, you
Sure.
put a slant on shit, to make sure you charge up your audience. You keep your core.
Right.
And her arguing back and forth with Donald Trump and arguing back and forth with you, do you think she believes everything?
I can't. What I never try to do is to get in somebody else's head. But I'll say this. I'll say that there is a story that they tell themselves that allows them to do the things they do to black people.
Okay.
Oh, the police are scared. Well, it's black on black crime. Do you know when black people say black on black crime, they are complicit in the murder of their own people? And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
That is a lie. More crime, virtually every crime committed in the United States of America, 2-to-1 black to white. Even for percentages. Even for percentages. Even if we knock it down to say we're 13% and they're 63%, every crime committed in the United States of America is 2-to-1 black to white, white to black. They actually more white on white crime than black on black crime. But when you call it black on black crime, that gives them marching orders. That gives them a call to arms. So now they can come and brutalize because there's a sense of urgency. You'll hear black people saying, "Oh, black on black crime." That doesn't exist. If it exists, there has to be Asian on Asian crime.
Yeah.
Or Latin on Latin crime.
Absolutely.
Crime is about proximity. You hurt the ones you love because you're close to them. If you take any living organism and you put it in a small space with limited resources, it will kill anything around it.
Yeah.
Black on black crime is nothing but it's biology. That shit is happening on your lawn right now with the weeds in the grass, fighting for resources. But you believe that you're inferior because they tell you it's a such thing as black on black crime.
What does that do to black people when they buy into that?
It signs your death warrant. It says to you, okay, of course, when they say they kill, you'll hear niggas say shit like this. We kill ourselves, nobody get mad. That's bullshit. Black people who kill black people go to jail, and they're sent there by black people all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, Chicago. What about Chicago? Every day in Chicago, the alphas and the do protests. There's a group called the Interrupters of young men that go out and try to stop violence. The mothers of Inglewood every day hugging gang members trying to stop it. But it's not sexy, so it's not on TV. Stop believing the lies they tell you about yourself. Because when you do, you sign your death warrant. When Giuliani gets on TV and says that black children need to learn to be taught respect, what you're saying is that children should act more responsibly than trained professionals. And that is your antidote?
Yeah.
That children who you can't control, you can't even make your children, you remember the shit you used to do when you was a child?
Right.
You are supposed to be the one responsible.
Not the police.
And we buy that argument?
Yeah.
You signing your people's death warrant. And what I'm going to do is everywhere I'm at, if I'm going to call you out for that lie. When you tell me stuff like that, I'm going to say something about it. You cannot pretend. Look, I would rather be smoking weed and lying up than this. But I'm not. If I let that lie live, one of my people die. That ain't how it happens.
Right.
You feel like you were ambushed that day?
I feel like it's the constant condition of niggas. It's always something happening. It felt like a normal day.
Yeah.
It did. It felt like this is how shit always goes.
Another day in office.
Little does Pierre know there's a rock and a snowball.
Yeah.
You mentioned also how you were offended by Fox, and you weren't afraid to say that on air. So if they invited you again for another conversation, would you take it?
I'm not scared to go nowhere to talk to nobody about nothing. That man, we were talking about racism, and listen, I watched the men in the city I grew up in, be brutalized by. This police department was so brutal that the federal government took it over to 2012. And he admitted he did those things. And this is the man that you have on before me, and I'm supposed to pretend like I didn't see it? And we have you're offended that I call you racist, but you name me one other serious news organization that would hire Mark Furman for anything.
Right.
Even the appearance of it looks bad. Yeah. It's dudes that you know who you might like, but they so foul you can't be around them.
Yeah.
You can't. You like, hey man, I dig you. You my folks, but I can't be around.
Right.
them.
By association, it makes it look crazy.
Right. But they don't have a problem being associated. So that must be who you are, who you hang around. And then why would I be? Oh, he's an angry black man. What did James Baldwin say? To be a Negro in America and to be conscious is to be angry all the time.
Yeah.
Of course I'm angry. I'm watching people be slaughtered and you say it's okay. Of course I'm angry.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to be angry.
Right.
You don't put that mantle on me and I'm supposed to be ashamed of it. I'm angry because you earned it. So I'll be what it is. If they call me, I didn't. When we left, when it was over, Megyn said, "Well, she said, well, bye," and I said, "Bye," and she said, I didn't. It's a shame it had to go this way. I said, I expected nothing less from this network. She said, "Well, why'd you come?" She said that like that, and I said, "Cause you invited me, and I'm not a coward like you."
Why'd you come? Ooh. How should we? Well, this was off air.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then all you heard was my little footsteps going off on the, and it was quiet. I don't listen. What anybody thinks of me ain't none of my business.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what I gotta say, and I would do it when people have gotten mad at me. Black people have gotten mad at me for the things I've said. White people have gotten mad at me for the things I've said. Gay people have gotten mad at me for. I'm who I am.
Yeah.
I'm not ashamed to be who I am. If you ask me a question, I'm going to give you the answer. They are slaughtering black people and brown people. And they know that they're doing it, so they have to tell themselves these lies, so it's okay.
So it's okay.
This man, Castile, had a permit to carry a gun in a place where it was legal to carry a gun. Instead of being afraid, why didn't you ask him to see his permit?
Yeah.
Pulling people over with guns can't be that abnormal. It happens all the time. 47% of the people in those states, a great percentage of people have guns. So why is a nigga with a gun that much more of an anomaly? You don't get to do this. You do that to somebody that don't know what he's talking about. Do that to somebody else.
D.L Hughley is here. The book is Black Man, White House, an Oral History of the Obama Years. We're going to talk about that momentarily. Sway in the Morning. We want to talk to D.L. 888-742-3345.
Now more of the daily news on Sway in the Morning.
Michael Brown grabbed that officer's gun and tried to shoot him in his patrol car.
That is. No one has proven that.
That's what Eric Holder's DOJ concluded.
And Eric Holder's DOJ concluded that department was so rife with
That's
with
a dodge.
corruption. I don't dodge at all. I'm here in Fox News.
Then let's stay on it. Then let's stay on Michael Brown.
We're talking about
DOJ.
We're talking about
I'm
not talking. No, woman. First off, what I'll tell you is this: it is not uncommon for you all to see one thing. The only place racism doesn't exist is Fox News and the police department. That's the only place. That's absolutely true.
That's insulting. You just insulted millions of people watching this channel.
And you know what? I'm insulted by the things I hear on this network, so we're even. I could care less about insulting people that insult me on a daily basis.
Yeah, that was on Fox.
Yeah, for real. Repped us very, very well, D.L.
You said racism only exists. Only place. What is it? You said
I said the only place racism doesn't exist is Fox News and police departments. But here's the thing: the Department of Justice, FBI, in 2006 came out with a report that said that police departments in America were so rife with white supremacists and neo-Nazis that it is pervasive. Mm-hmm. The FBI said this.
Yes. The FBI.
The FBI said this. This ain't me making it up. You can Google it.
Right.
So if I know that they issued an edict, they said that would be like that's like those warnings that you get for Zika virus. Like, ain't nobody died from Zika virus. But that's the epidemic we worry about. I worry about a mosquito when it can carry a badge.
Right.
But ultimately, if I and from my own experiences, I'm not saying. Listen, it's simple to me.
Yeah.
When those two men were slaughtered, one in Louisiana, one in Minnesota, I want somebody to be brought to account for it.
Yeah.
When those 5 police officers were slaughtered, there's no equivocation. That was wrong, and that man who did it was a murderer and should have been brought to account for it.
Yeah.
I don't care if your uniform is blue or your skin is black or brown. You still have the same amount. I still grieve for either of those parties. Mm-hmm. But to me, it is. You will see society telling me that this is a shame and this is a fact of life.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's deplorable that one life is because of the job you do. Listen, I understand that policing is a very tough job, but you take that job.
Yeah.
You asked to do it. Mm-hmm. If you are so scared and so nervous that you feel like you compromise public safety, drive a fucking truck at UPS. That ain't the only job you can do.
Yeah.
You're telling me, you're saying to society, well, policemen are nervous and they're scared. So if you're nervous and you're scared and you're trained, what about me?
Right.
When I say, like you're making an allowances for. If there's a videotape that shows a suspect committed a crime, they will take that into court and say, look, this is all you need to see right here. If you see a policeman do something, we don't know what happened before this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a presumption of guilt on one end and a presumption of innocence on the other. You cannot be above the law when you're sworn to uphold it.
What do you think about President Obama's comment that the racial divide isn't as big as it seems?
I think he's a politician and he clearly has to say what needs to be said. I think that the nation was traumatized, and I think as any leader would try to do, he would try to assuage people's fears. I don't know I don't believe that to be true.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know that he believes that, but I can't speak for another man. I will say this: we need to. It can't just be that black people are responsible for their own death. Mm-hmm. It's like Tamir Rice was a 12-year-old boy who played with a gun. The police rolled up in a state where you could have open carry. Mm-hmm. Why? And they said, well, he looked like a grown man. Well, why wasn't the policeman's response that this grown man could have been somebody who legally had the right to carry that gun? Mm-hmm. Why did you shoot him instead of asking questions? Why? And then why? What society does, the first thing society does is when a young black man, something happens to a young black man, they pull up his criminal history. They didn't have anything on Tamir Rice, so they pull something up on his father. When that boy fell in there with that gorilla, they talked about his father's criminal record. You know what they're doing? They're trying to devalue you.
Right.
Well, he's a criminal. Of course he had to die. That would be as offensive as me pulling up the history of those police officers that got slaughtered. That would be deeply offensive. Because what they were doing, what you're saying is if you're disrespectful, you should die, or if you struggle, you should die. The only reason you should use force is if your life or someone else's life is in danger.
D.L Hughley, a Black Man, White House, an oral history of the Obama years. What's this book about?
Well, it's about the presidency. Well,
Okay.
you know, it's an actual. Those are actual events. But we put our I pretend like I'm there. So like you know how people will talk one way in front of you and another way behind your back. Like Chris Rock had this great joke. He said that there's a new app that lets you know if your friends are racist. It's called Facebook. And you remember how when Obama became president, everybody would say one thing and then get on Facebook and start talking shit about it.
Yeah.
Well, we pretend like we are there when they say it. Like the first time in the book, the first time Bill and Hillary see President Obama giving that speech. They go, who is this nigga right here? Who is he? Wait a minute.
That's in the book.
Oh, absolutely. That's the first one. So it's actual events, but we pretend like we were there, and there's no filter, and we pretend like we're talking for them. So it's number 7 on New York Times bestseller list. It's doing great. Had a good time back.
D.L Hughley, man. We got a couple callers, man. Jamar, Louisiana is on the line. Jamar, what up, man?
Jamar.
Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing?
Doing okay, man. Would like to say to DL.
Hey, DL, I got a comment and a question. Comment is, hey, I'm so proud of you, you know, for everything that you're doing. And the way you come out, the way you come at these people and everything, I love that. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Just continue it. And my question is, all these activists, all these people that come out and say they're activists, they're our leaders and stuff like that. Why is everybody so scared to come out and talk the way that you do and to respond to things the way that you do?
You listen, I can't ever speak for anybody else, and I certainly don't want to be an activist. I don't want to be a leader. I want to be a mirror. The only way people change is when they see themselves. That's the only way. Like if you want to lose weight, if you want to change your appearance, you have to see yourself.
Yeah.
I want people to listen. If you see what you see, and if I let you see what I see, you look at yourself in the mirror, and you like what you see, keep doing it. If you don't. But don't tell me how loving we are. It's easy when people say, how? Well, what can I do? If we're a nation under God, indivisible, then treat me like you would see me, like you say God sees me. It's simple. Do to me what you would do on others what you would have them do unto you. My children, your children. If you don't want your children slain in the street with nobody being brought to account for it, don't do it to me.
That's point blank.
It's always there's a big argument. They always go, it's a rush to judgment. Well, you rush to judgment too. Only yours is for the affirmative.
Yeah.
You rush to the officer's defense before you, and we oftentimes do the opposite. Somewhere is the truth.
Somewhere in that middle.
Both of us are rushing to judgment.
Yeah.
You win. You know why? They get to win because they're the prosecutors, they're the district attorneys, they are the grand juries. I think that grand juries should be open because anytime you see 12 white people go into a room in secret, the results ain't never good for niggas. I don't care if it's the Oscar committee. I don't care what it is. When 12 white people go and get in the room and nobody gets to see it, oh, come on.
Man, D.L Hughley, man. Hey, man, I appreciate you. I hit him up last minute yesterday, and DL responded and came here early this morning, man. Congratulations on the book,
Thank
Black
you,
Man, White House, an oral history of the Obama years, man. And I appreciate your thoughts and perspective, man. You can always come up here and finish up the interview. All right?
Thank you, man.
All right, up next we got sports.
Yeah, we do, Sway. A lot of updates to put everybody up on.
Shade 45.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shade 45.